How will you tune color TV when it comes to your home? By trial and error? Or by committee? You won't have to search for the sharpest color picture if you have this. Zenith's AFC, Automatic Fine-Tuning Control. It tunes the sharpest color picture at the flick of a finger. And it's so easy, you can do it blindfolded. It tunes the color picture and keeps it tuned. Every channel, every time. Even on those new UHF channels. See Zenith handcrafted color TV, featuring Zenith's AFC, Automatic Fine-Tuning Control, that makes it so easy to tune the sharpest color picture, you can do it blindfolded. At Zenith, the quality goes in before the name goes on.
Why not get the best?
Last year, Zenith brought you Chromacolor, the color TV picture that outperformed every giant screen color TV before Chromacolor. Now, Zenith brings you Compact Chromacolor, a big 19-inch picture in a compact cabinet.
I've got just the place for it.
New Compact Chromacolor.
Hello, this is Uncle Jim, and this is the Zenith Made in America HK MP5 clone. And it's very well made. It's probably the best clone out there. So, my son brings this home last night without me even knowing about it. I had no idea. And so, we'll do a quickie video on this real quick. He has wanted a HK MP5 forever. And so since he was a little kid, he wanted one. I bought a 22. We should have kept that one because it shot so good and it was so fun. It was a 22 carbine and I should have kept that one. But anyway, he wanted the 9mm and he chose the pistol length one, 5 inches here. And I'll tell you this, it is really well made and it's so quiet suppressed and no blowback because it's got rollers in it and everything delays the blowback on here. And so it's a different little monkey than our other 9mm carbines, ARs, whatever, AK. But he always wanted this since he was a kid. The good news is he paid for it himself. He's been saving up from his business, which is blacksmithing, knife making, any part people need. And so that's how this came to be tonight. As a matter of fact, this knife right here is going out in a day or two for a customer. And it's really nice. If you're interested, we'll do a little quickie video on here. I love the sheath, and we'll talk about that later if you guys are interested. So, this is very well made. As a matter of fact, it's got better welds and finish than a HK, and a better trigger, and the extended mag release here, which is ambi, and the trigger's better. Everything seems better than an HK. I remember shooting the HKs years ago, and this is so nice. It really is nice, and it's made in America. Everything except for the magazines. It came with 3 magazines and a mount for a red dot or whatever, a claw mount here. And we'll just do a quickie review because we only had this last night. We shot a few rounds. We'll strip her down and show you what it looks like inside. And I'm pretty impressed with this little bugger. So it's the Zenith, made in, I think, Virginia. Right here. All right. Okay, so here it is taken apart. You don't need any tools. They got these neat little detents on the pins. You just push them out, everything comes out. The biggest difference from our other blowback style 9 millimeters is this has the rollers, a la HK, set maze, whatever, and that helps delay the bolt, and it makes it quieter and very durable for full auto, which we don't have. And then they give you 2 locking pieces here. And this one's 100 degree. They also give you an 80 degree, and the 80 degree slows down the bolt even more. And you can get different degrees also, but they give you 2, and this is the 100 for a little more lighter bolt unlocking. And the greatest thing about these is when you shoot them suppressed, it's very low recoil because of this and the rollers. And it's also very quiet. So it delays that ejection port and it makes them very quiet, and you don't get blowback or any smoke in your face shooting them suppressed. And that's why these were the king, the HKs. And this Zenith is so nice. This is the new K model? T model. And I think the older ones had little mill marks. These are totally smooth and coated, and it's just, everything is made beautiful on this. Here is the bolt. Up here, the welds are beautiful. The welds look better than HK does. Okay, it's just super well made. I'm impressed with that. Here's your firing pin, super simple. Everything's really simple. Okay, so on the lower here, they changed the grip angle so it's more vertical, and I really like that. It's very comfortable, all right? And then the trigger is better than the HK. HKs kind of have a nasty trigger. And it has a really nice reset. So you're right on there. It's very nice for this style of gun. And you can see how nice that is. They put a Magpul extended safety on here, so it's really easy. You don't have to reach for anything. And then there would be the happy switch button, which we don't have. So there's that. So you got ambi on both sides, okay, if you're right or left-handed. And that's really nice. The trigger is better than the HK. Nice reset. Everything's pretty simple in there. And that's really nice. Now, the upper is really nice. It has better welds than the HK does, and a better finish. It's got a nice finish on here. The barrel is threaded 1/2 by 2/8 for suppressor or muzzle device, which comes with it. The handle here can be taken out for cleaning, lubing, whatever. And everyone likes to slap that handle and the bolt goes forward. That's probably what most people get their jollies off of, but the welds are just super nice on this. My favorite thing about HKs is the rear sight. I always thought this was ingenious. You can change your apertures just turning the knob here, and you get 4 apertures. You get a big one, then they get smaller, and it's adjustable. I always loved the front sight too. It's easy to line up. Totally supported hood there with the front sight. It's just awesome. I think the rear sight was the best invention ever. Just super easy to get an aperture there. It's just gorgeous. It's got the flag on here, Zenith Firearms in Virginia. And it is just really a nice piece here. So finish, welds are better, triggers better than an HK, and it's a lot cheaper than an HK. You know what those cost. This is your rear plate here. All right, your rear plug, which one of the pins, 2 of the pins go through. And you can put a pistol brace on here. All right, once we get that settled, or if you want an SBR, you can put a stock on there. So for now, we just use the sling until they fix that stupid rolling which isn't a law. They got to fix that. Okay, so it also comes with a muzzle device, a really nice brake on here that screws right on. And then you can also, they give you a blast diverter, which screws on there. So you got your blast diverter, and so they give you that in case you don't have a suppressor. How come I can't screw this in here? Anyway, there you go. All right, so you'd have that on the end of your muzzle, and that's very nice. That's a nice bonus. Recoil spring, super easy. And on the HKs, I think they're pinned. They're stuck to the bolt. These just come right out. Okay, so you don't have to do nothing there. Did I have that backwards?
Yes.
Yes, I did. Okay, so
Also,
it's
this didn't come with it. I bought that separate.
oh, I thought
That's
that
a
came with
JMac.
it. Okay,
It's the same as the AKV.
okay. It also comes with a mount for red dot here, a claw mount. Okay, so it does come with that. And I guess that's it. So the whole key, this is more complicated than my other blowback 9s, but these rollers right here really delay everything. And man, it makes a difference on sound and blowback and recoil.
Super soft.
It's super soft. And then you have your different pieces. You can change how the bolt speed is. I think that's awesome. The only thing that's not totally USA made is the magazines. They're steel magazines. This has the Z for Zenith on them. You can clean them pretty easy. They're 30 rounds. And they're the only thing that is not USA, but that makes them cheaper. So, all right. And did it come with 3?
It came with 3.
It came with 3. Did it come with the coupler? Because it also has a coupler.
No, I got the coupler.
Okay, so he bought the coupler and this. All right. All right, so it also came with a nice Pelican case, totally sealed, a sling, a beautiful cleaning kit that has everything in there you ever need. And so there's that. All right, so these come in different barrel sizes. This is the 5-inch threaded model. And what makes me really nervous about this is it has a fluted chamber. So I'll do a close-up of that and try and get a shot of that. In the 308 HKs or the set-me's, the fluted chamber would just ruin your brass, and then it would ding it on the way out for good measure just to piss you off. So that's a no-go. But in 9mm, I was happy to find out it really doesn't mess up your brass, and we'll do a close-up of the brass we shot and also the fluted chamber. It's a hammer forged barrel, so everything is made really nice for a clone. Maybe even better. Okay, this is tough to show, but there's your fluted chamber. It's a bunch of little lines like shark teeth. Okay, try going down the barrel. Ooh, you had it, okay. The barrel's very nice. So this is what worried me the most. It's like little lines going around the chamber. All right, so this is what really made me nervous. Being a reloader, how's the brass going to react with the fluted chamber? Now, they did the fluted chambers to help with extraction, especially with full auto. So it was designed to help extract. In a rifle, not so good if you want to reload that brass. But in the 9mm, I'm happy to report it doesn't damage the brass. So this is all the same ammo. You can see the lines on the cartridges here from the chamber shooting it suppressed. So you got blowback, and it shows the lines from the chamber. And then this one here, it's the same ammo, everything. I just wiped with a paper towel, and there's no scratches in the brass, nothing. I even checked it with calipers, and once-fired brass matches my other once-fired brass I have in the bins, all clean and ready to reload. Everything's the same diameter, no bulges. As a matter of fact, the gun looks like it's very healthy. And you can always tell the health of your gun by your primer hits and other things, but you'll see that's a center hit. There's no drag marks from the firing pin trying to get out of the way. No tadpole marks. As a matter of fact, there's no dings on the brass or the rim, which made me very happy. And everything looks beautiful. So I checked the diameter of the brass and it's perfect. So perfect to reload. Let's get back in focus. And so I guess that's why they did that funky chamber, is full auto, help extract. You're going fast and dirty, and it's awesome. All right, now I did have a few problems with my reloads because they were loaded too light. And when I picked up this gun and racked the recoil spring on that thing, it is heavier than snot. It was like, this feels like it's a 10 millimeter. It's very hard to rack, super hard, heavy recoil spring. But they say to break her in 200, 500 rounds using a 124 grade, and that's what they say to do. I did have a few gags with my reloads because they were loaded light for my other blowback guns. And that spring was just too heavy. Just, it wasn't yakking them too far. And we'll do more on that, but we just got this last night, so we'll figure that out. Okay, so I'll have to admit this is very cool. The one thing I noticed is it has a super stiff recoil spring. And they tell you got to break it in for 250, 500 rounds with 124 grain just to break it in. When I racked this thing for the first time, that recoil spring, oh man, that was so heavy. It felt like a 10 millimeter recoil spring in here. And then between that and the rollers and the different faces you can put on the bolt, depending on what kind of ammo you're using, man, that was heavy stuff. So we ran some 150 grain subsonic through it, and then I went to my super light reloads for suppressed on my other guns, and it was not totally racking back with those super light loads on occasion, and we'll just have to break it in. That recoil spring is really tough. But inside and outside is so well fitted, I can understand needing some break-in, and it is super fun. I'll tell you what, it has the least recoil and blowback of all our other type 9mm guns like this. It's got a swivel here and a back plate. You can put the swivel on a sling and hide it under your coat. This back plate comes right off with the pins. You can put a pistol brace folder on it, and it makes it super small package. And I can see why these were so sought after and famous all these years for that reason, suppressed or full auto. It makes sense. I get it now, between the rollers on the bolt and everything. So we'll shoot a few rounds, but this is going to just be a quickie video on this. So far, it's different, but I can understand why my son wanted this ever since he was a little kid. We're all kids, aren't we? Yes, we are. Okay. Quiet. Oh, that's so quiet. Oh my gosh. There you go. We haven't sighted it in yet, but he's hitting it. Those are going over the top. Hang on. All right.
Oh, there's a deer.
Oh, where?
Right up there.
I don't see
At
it.
10 o'clock, a couple of them.
Oh yeah, 2 deer. There's 2 deer above there. Okay, continuing. Okay, we had to take a deer break. We had 2 deer left to the target and we had to let them go. And these are my MP mold 140 grain, which comes out 143, and they're still quiet. And it's still a soft load, but it's cycling with that heavy spring. Okay, boy. Continuing. That was loud. That was quiet. Oh yeah. And they're falling in the brass catcher. Oh yeah, hit it. This was pretty much sighted in. We just have to sight her in. But hey, were you going over or under the target at
I'm
that
aiming right
range?
at it.
All right, so yeah, he's out there, but we never sighted it in, and he hit it, so that's good. All right, bitch.